The junior golf world was left stunned as two rising prodigies collided, Charlie Woods and Miles Russell. On one side, Tiger Woods' son, carrying the weight of a legendary legacy. On the other, Miles Russell, a young star from Jacksonville, already showing a level of poise that left fans in awe. It wasn't just about winning, it was about proving who truly belonged on golf's biggest stages. The stage for their first real clash was none other than the Sage Valley Junior Invitational, a tournament that has historically been the birthplace of future PGA Tour legends. Past winners and participants from this event have gone on to dominate the professional circuit, and this year, the stakes were even higher. According to Golf Monthly and Golf Magic, the competition was fiercer than ever, and expectations were sky high. The world was about to find out who could handle the pressure and who would crack under it. Fans weren't just tuning in for another junior tournament. No, they were witnessing a potential passing of the torch. Charlie Woods wasn't just playing for himself, he was carrying the weight of a legacy built by his father's countless trophies, historic wins, and unforgettable Sunday Red moments. Every swing, every putt, every mistake would be magnified under the enormous spotlight he was born into. Would Charlie rise to the occasion? Or would the pressure of greatness crush him before he even began? Across the fairways, Miles Russell was approaching the moment differently. Calm, collected, and with a cold-blooded precision that belied his youth, he wasn't there to respect legacies. He was there to build his own. As Golf Magic reported, insiders were already whispering that Russell's game was among the most polished they'd ever seen at such a young age. And if Russell's confidence meant anything, he wasn't just there to compete, he was there to conquer. With the crowd buzzing and the cameras rolling, the question wasn't just who would win, it was who would seize their destiny first. Would Charlie Woods live up to the massive expectations, or would the unknown prodigy, Miles Russell, steal the spotlight? What happened next would shake the foundations of junior golf and leave even the most loyal fans in disbelief. As the first tee shots echoed through the pristine fairways of Sage Valley, the tension was electric. All eyes were on Charlie Woods, and for a brief moment, the dream seemed alive. The dream that he would rise to the occasion, silence the doubters, and put on a performance worthy of the Woods name. But as the tournament unfolded, it quickly became clear. This wasn't going to be the fairy tale fans were hoping for. And just like that, hope turned into disbelief. According to Golf Magic and Yahoo Sports, Charlie struggled from the very start to find any real rhythm in his game. His drives were off, his iron play lacked the precision we've seen glimpses of in the pros, and on the greens, the putter just went cold. The result? A shocking tied for 25th finish. Far behind tournament leader Miles Russell and a field of hungry young talents eager to make their mark. The numbers didn't lie, but they told a story of a dream unraveling. Fans were stunned. Nobody had predicted such a dramatic collapse, especially after the months of build-up surrounding Charlie's growing form and recent flashes of brilliance. The son of Tiger Woods had been billed as a natural-born competitor, but here at Sage Valley, it looked like the pressure of expectation was finally too much to carry. Every missed fairway, every missed birdie putt felt like a dagger, not just to Charlie, but to everyone watching, hoping to witness history. And in those missed moments, a painful new reality began to settle in. And it wasn't just the numbers on the leaderboard that told into the story. Those close to the action could see the emotional toll beginning to wear on the young star. Frustration boiled beneath the surface. A slammed club here, a deep sigh there, moments of visible struggle that no camera could hide. It was the kind of tension you could feel from the gallery, a sense that the weight of the Woods legacy was pressing down harder than ever. This wasn't just a bad round. It was a battle with the expectations of a lifetime. For Charlie, Sage Valley was supposed to be his moment to announce himself to the world. Instead, it became a painful reminder that greatness isn't inherited. It's earned, stroke by brutal stroke. And for the first time, doubts began to creep into the minds of even his most loyal supporters. Little did anyone know, Miles Russell was about to make the gap look even wider. While Charlie Woods struggled to steady the ship, Miles Russell was out there building an empire. With ice in his veins and a swing that looked like it belonged to a seasoned tour veteran, Miles seized the moment at Sage Valley, turning the tournament into his personal showcase. As reported by the Jacksonville, Florida Times-Union and Golf Monthly, Russell didn't just win, he dominated. And suddenly, it became clear. This wasn't Charlie's story anymore. It was Miles Russell's world now. From the very first round, Miles set the tone. His iron shots were razor sharp, his putting touch surgical, and perhaps most impressively, he stayed absolutely unshakable under pressure. Where others faltered, where Charlie faltered, Miles thrived. Each hole he conquered pushed Charlie deeper into unfamiliar territory, chasing a shadow he couldn't catch. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement, one that echoed loud and clear across the junior golf world. A new king was ready to claim the throne. And once the throne was offered, Miles didn't hesitate to take it with both hands. His victory was horrifying. Not in scandal, not in controversy, but in the sheer brutal clarity it brought. For every young golfer dreaming of glory, including Charlie Woods, Miles Russell's performance exposed a massive gap. A gap in readiness, a gap in composure, a gap in greatness. And worst of all, the whole world was watching as that gap widened by the minute. And it led to an uncomfortable question that nobody wanted to say out loud. Did Charlie crumble under the very pressure that Miles used as fuel? One moment revealed everything, not just who had the talent, but who had the heart. When you watched Miles walk up the 18th fairway, there was no fear, no nerves, just business. In contrast, Charlie's final rounds were riddled with uncertainty, second-guessing, and the body language of a young player realizing how far the mountain still stretched on in front of him. It was no longer just a tournament loss, it was a brutal awakening. This wasn't just about winning a trophy, it was about seizing a moment that could define a career. Russell's domination at Sage Valley sent a chilling reminder to everyone. Potential means nothing if you can't perform when the lights are brightest. And for Charlie Woods, who carried the hopes of millions on his young shoulders, it was a brutal glimpse into the harsh reality of elite competition. Every champion's path begins somewhere, but so does every downfall. As fans watched Miles lift the trophy, one thought echoed louder than any cheer. Has the next era already begun? And is Charlie being left behind before it even starts? The dust had barely settled on the final round at Sage Valley, but the aftershocks from Charlie Woods' performance were already being felt throughout the golf world. For Team Woods, this wasn't just a bad weekend. It was a reality check of the harshest kind. And reality, when it hits this hard, leaves a mark that's impossible to ignore. According to Essentially Sports and other outlets, the disappointment wasn't just coming from fans. Insiders, and even former players began to ask the uncomfortable questions. Was Charlie really ready for this level of competition? Had the hype ballooned too quickly, too soon? The whispers grew louder, and so did the doubts. What started as murmurs became a growing storm surrounding the young star. For Tiger Woods, a man who built a career on preparation, patience, and dominance, the brutal defeat at Sage Valley may force a hard conversation inside the camp. Charlie's development plan, once seen as perfectly on track, could be under serious review now. Was he being pushed too fast into the spotlight? Was the focus on high-profile tournaments adding more pressure than growth? The questions weren't just speculative anymore, they were necessary. When even legends must rethink their strategy, you know a serious crossroads has been reached. Fans who had flocked to see Charlie's rise were left with a mix of emotions. Sadness, because the dream of a Woods dynasty felt suddenly fragile. Frustration, because the potential was there, but the polish was clearly not. And concern, deep concern, that the immense expectations were weighing down a teenager before he could even fully mature into the player he could become. The emotional investment in Charlie wasn't just hope, it was belief, and now that belief was shaking. Even respected voices from the golf community hinted at a reassessment. As Essentially Sports pointed out, the reality of elite junior golf is brutal. The margins are razor thin, and emotional resilience often matters as much as technical skill. And without both, even the brightest talents risk being eclipsed. If there was one undeniable takeaway from Sage Valley, it was this. The path to greatness would not be paved by name alone. Charlie Woods, for all his natural talent, was going to have to work, grind, and rebuild, out of the spotlight perhaps, if he wanted to catch up to competitors like Miles Russell, who had shown the world what true readiness looked like. The chase was on, But the road ahead would be steeper than ever. The dream wasn't over, but it just got a whole lot harder. And as the dust settled, one question lingered. Was Charlie ready for the battle that lay ahead? As the echoes of Sage Valley fade into memory, the real question now looms large over the world of junior golf. What comes next? For Charlie Woods, this defeat could either be the moment that defines him or the moment that breaks him. There is no denying the raw talent, the incredible golf DNA he carries, and the flashes of brilliance that made the hype machine spin in the first place. But after Sage Valley, it's clear, potential alone won't be enough. The next moves Charlie and Team Woods make could determine whether this is a mere stumble on the path to greatness or the beginning of a much harder journey than anyone expected. The fans are asking, will Charlie bounce back stronger? Will this humiliation light a fire that pushes him to new heights? Or, and it's a real possibility, has the gap between him and Miles Russell already widened too much to close easily? Because make no mistake, a new rivalry may have just been born. While Charlie faces a storm of questions, Miles Russell stands tall, basking in the glow of his victory and the momentum it brings. His performance at Sage Valley didn't just win him a trophy, it established him as the new standard in junior golf, calm, ruthless, unshakable. And whether he admits it publicly or not, you can bet Charlie Woods knows it too. Both of these young stars have massive futures ahead, but this moment, right here, right now, could define the early narrative of their careers. Is this the first chapter in a legendary rivalry? One fueled by heartbreak, redemption, and the burning desire to prove the world wrong? Or will Miles Russell surge ahead while Charlie is left chasing a shadow that grows darker with every tournament? At the end of the day, it's simple. Is Charlie ready to chase Miles Russell's level, or will the gap only grow wider? Let us know in the comments below, and once you've done that, have a look at the video that's appearing on your screen right now.